Many people have said to me on my TikTok lives that Charlie Kirk was nothing like MLK, and after much further research, I actually have to agree. Charlie was never such a disgusting wolf in sheep's clothing that had so many skeletons in his closet as MLK did. Now, before I drop the top 5 things I bet you never knew about MLK, I have to preface that this content is for entertainment purposes only. All the information I received was provided by a very great brother in Christ that I recommend for everyone to check out. His name is Vince Everett Ellison, and most of this information was provided by him. So if you dare to have your bubble burst, stick around, like, follow, and share, because this rabbit hole is packed with a lot of fudge.
If he were telling the truth, he wouldn't have told us.
Unless, of course, he knew you wouldn't believe the truth, even if you told it to you.
Hello world, the Faceless Prophet here, and to start us off with number 5, we have The Apple Doesn't Fall Far from the Tree. His father MLK Sr. was a confirmed Prince Hall Freemason. There are even many sources that allege his grandfather James Albert King was a Prince Hall Freemason as well. Even MLK was set to be initiated in, but was never able to because he was unalive before it could happen. Many people say Freemasons are just a philanthropic fraternal order that does nothing but good for society. But Masons worship the Lightbringer, the Morning Star, aka Lucifer. At number 4, we have an even bigger shocker. MLK was never a Christian. According to individuals like Virgil Walker and John MacArthur, he didn't believe in the deity of Christ, the resurrection, or even the virgin birth. If you don't believe in these basic truths about the gospel of Jesus Christ, then how can you truly be a Christian? What's even crazier is that MLK was involved in a fight at the National Baptist Convention back in 1961 that led to the unaliving of a pastor, and MLK breaking off to start the Progressive National Baptist Convention. Not God at all. Though 4 should be technically number 1, the world doesn't seem to put much stock in knowing the truth of Jesus Christ or what it even means to follow him. But want to know who else doesn't put any stock in God? That's right, atheist communists. And according to the FBI, MLK was one of their sympathizers and also their frontman.
Remember, once they find out who you are, you die.
MLK's lawyer Clarence B. Jones and bankroller friend Stanley Levison were both well-known communists. MLK was even photographed at a communist training school. The goal was to use the black community to push a communist agenda to destroy the nation from within. Just to give an idea, even Rosa Parks was part of the Communist Party.
Highlander was soon known mostly as a labor organizing school. By 1942, it was estimated that 90% of its alumni were either union officials or organizers. But as the unions became more successful, more entrenched, they became less interested in teaching their members how to agitate. As naturally as a crick bends around a big rock, Highlander moved its energies toward the nascent civil rights movement. The whole world knows that in 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give her bus seat to a white man, as then required by Alabama law. What's less well known is that 6 months earlier, she attended Highlander. It didn't give her the idea. She already had that. What it did do was show her that there were white people as angry about racism as she was.
She had her own car, for God's sakes, and yet got on that bus just to instigate trouble. The pathological nonsense you see happening on TikTok was first initiated by people like MLK and Rosa Parks. They'll get all up in your face, and then when you fight back and put them in their place, they report you for hate speech. This is literally the same kind of nonsense that MLK would do through the pathological, non-violent protests. But now, let's get deeper into MLK's moral character. Jesus said that we would know them by their fruits. So what were MLK's fruits like in his personal life? Well, at number 2, we have the fact that not only was MLK guilty of cheating multiple times on his wife, he was guilty of being an accomplice to an alleged SA as well. According to David Garrow's biography of MLK, MLK watched, laughed, and even gave advice as his his friend Logan Kearse essayed one of their parishioners in a hotel room. MLK and his buddies were sycophantic perverts that engaged in what the FBI said natural and unnatural sexual acts. MLK was known for hoeing around, but the most shocking thing you didn't know about MLK will blow your mind. The number one thing you probably never knew about MLK was that he packed some fudge just like Diddy and Kevin Hart, just like Will Smith and LeBron James. The Black Boule is full of house Negroes that sell out their own people to keep their own gravy train going. After JFK realized MLK lied about getting rid of his communist friends, the FBI tapped MLK and discovered all the sick and nasty orgies MLK was part of with his commie friends. But what's craziest is that when the FBI referred to unnatural sexual acts, they meant Elmer Fudd went packing fudge.
Jakes was there, they say. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. But I do know they say the king and his boys that started the Progressive Southern Baptist Convention. Them jokers, crazy. I mean, having orgies and things with 10, 15 men in the room, 10 to 15 women in the room. And I'm just going to tell you, man, it might be your thing to be around naked men that are excited. But if I'm around a man, he get excited around me, I'm going to beat the living hell out of him. He won't be excited too long, I can give you that, player. But these guys in there crossing swords with men and, involved in all this so nasty behavior, just crazy, freaky stuff, man.
So in conclusion, the apple does not fall far from the tree. Both his father and grandfather were Freemasons. He wasn't even a true Christian. He was the front man for the communist leftist agenda. He was an unfaithful, no-good, cheating husband that was also guilty of SA, and finally, he was guilty of packing fudge in an unnatural way. So for all those people out there that have been telling me, "How dare you compare Kirk to MLK?" You're right. How dare I compare Kirk to a wolf in sheep's clothing that didn't even live as if Jesus was his Lord? It was absolutely wrong for me to try to compare Kirk to MLK. MLK will never come close to what my brother in Christ Charlie did to reverse the nonsense he created through the deceptive and pathological civil rights movement. Charlie was right. The civil rights movement really was a mistake. Oh, and one last nugget. I'm from Memphis myself and had known for many years MLK was a playboy because one of my father's employees knew MLK personally. But she never told me all this other nasty demonic stuff I just shared with y'all. So if I just blew your mind, please make sure to like, follow, and share because there's a lot more where that came from. Oh, and if you don't believe anything I just said, don't worry. Like I said, this is for entertainment purposes only. And the FBI will be releasing the MLK files in 2027. So rest assured, the truth will come out one way or another. But until next time, the Faceless Prophet out.
If he were telling the truth, he wouldn't have told us.
Unless, of course, he knew you wouldn't believe the truth, even if you told it to you.